this one for quite a while. I originally did a review and it got removed due to some copyright issues. As you may know, my signature for videos is adding songs, so some of them are copyrighted, I guess, so they removed it. Anyway, here I am again after X amount of months making a new review. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and verify the firearms unloaded. So on revolvers, usually Smith & Wessons, you have like a little pull down switch here. Taurus's, I believe, is like a button. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that. The way Ruger does it is it's right here behind the fire gate. It's a button that you physically push, and you push the cylinder over. So as you can see, we are indeed safe and unloaded. So all 6 chambers are empty. So we're going to go ahead and push the crane back in. That's another thing I wanted to kind of get into. A lot of people that have these want to pull the whole Hollywood badass stunt and kind of flip it over. Well, it's really bad for the crane. The crane being here, or the axle, that's what I call it. This can bend, so it could hit against the metal and bends to where your shots would start sticking between where the barrel is. As you can see, this chamber has to line up with the barrel, so you'll get ultimately a portion of the cylinder here that will stick between both and won't actually fire. So that's just something to be aware of with this one. So mine is the 6-inch variant. I chose the 6-inch because, let's face it, I've always been a fan of revolvers. Ever since the Hitcher movie came out, even though it was before my time, I've always loved the look of revolvers. Even in video games, they just look pretty sick. Also, I chose it because with 357 Magnum, the powders that they use are slower burning, so the longer the barrel, generally the more velocity you'll get. And this is more of a collector's item to me than it is a firearm that I'll be taking. Although since my last review, I have fired around 300 rounds through it. Kept it pretty clean. It's kind of interesting. That's the thing I love about stainless steel. As long as you keep it fairly clean, you don't notice very much. I did get a few nicks on it though that I'm pretty bummed out about. Let's see if my camera will show it. Oh yeah, there it is. I'll show a little bit. But around this area, around there, a little scratch. But at the end of the day, it's a gun, so it's not like an iPhone, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so let's see what else I'm gonna get into. 6-shot revolver, obviously 357 Magnum. Now with 357, you can use 38s. I've used 38s through it. I don't necessarily like to because the round itself doesn't actually protrude from the chamber. It's actually goes to about right here, and so the round obviously detonates, exits the barrel, but you get a bunch of gunpowder residue stuck inside the chamber, so it makes it extremely dirty. Alright, so let's see over others. The grip is extremely comfortable. It's a hog grip. They used to do wooden grips, because this firearm did come out in the 80s, so they used to do wooden grips. As far as I know, the gentleman that produced the wooden grips passed away, so they started using hog grips, which are very comfortable. They're actually textured as well. As you can see, like right there, it's really nice texturing and stippling. Very comfortable. It just kind of hugs your hand. So this revolver also is double action, single action. So the double action pull is extremely hard. It's like extremely resets obviously all the way at the end. Now my favorite part of revolvers, the main reason I bought this, the main reason I fell in love with them pretty much, is single action. Just the sound. That is amazing. And you pretty much get about a 2-inch trigger pull at that point. What's also cool about this revolver, since it's modern, is it does have, believe it or not, a fire pin block. Now, when I did explain this to other people in automatics, I didn't get a good example. A lot of people in automatics are afraid to carry with around the chamber because they think if it falls, the firing pin will hit the primer. Well, here's kind of an example. You see this little gate here? See if I can zoom in for you guys. That little gate is your fire pin block. So if this falls and it's going to hit that and it's not going to detonate the round. Watch this. This is an example. So when you pull the trigger, it moves out of the way. So see. And then it lets you hit the primer. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, let's go back to this. Sorry guys, I'm gonna move my lanyard out of the way. I guess it keeps popping in the frame. Alright. So Zoom out just a little bit. Okay. So yeah, this is just a beautiful gun. The recoil on it as well is a lot different. I had to get used to firing a revolver versus a automatic because my grip on automatics would want to be such as this, but that's a no-no because if you can see that little gap, see if I can zoom in for you. See it right there, that little gap that's up here? Well, truthfully, gases will escape there. So you'll end up having a gigantic fireball coming this way and that way out of the firearm. So I had no idea when I first fired this, and I didn't bring my thumb up too close. I just brought it up to about like here. And when I did that, it pushed my thumb down physically. Like it, boom, pushed it down physically. It had that much force. So I was pretty fortunate I didn't cut my thumb off, but I learned real quick not to put it back there. So, yeah, so that's something you have to get used to with revolvers. The sights also are not the best, believe it or not. That little front sight post there is a bit harder to see if you're using a black silhouette target. But nevertheless, if it's outdoors, you can get a fair shot. I plan on getting an optical sight for this, just so that it's easier for me to make out my target. Also, let's see what else I'm going over. Sorry guys, I never have an agenda on these. I just love doing them so much. But anyway, there's the adjustable front sight up there. I believe it's for windage and elevation. I'm not quite sure. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. But I think one of those notches is windage, one of those is elevation. So, there's that darn lanyard again. It's just such a beautiful gun. Like it's amazing. I don't really know how else to explain that. Now, I did recently pick up a Glock 30 SF, and I plan on doing a review on that for you guys. It's in my safe right now, so I just wanted to get this one out again before I do that one. So, anyway, yeah, this revolver is just amazing. Got really no complaints about it. It's just a work of art, like all revolvers. I consider these like wristwatches. Automatics more along the lines of digital watches. They do what they're supposed to a lot easier. They're more convenient. They last generally longer in some cases. Revolvers, always more reliable than automatics because you're not relying on a gas system to chamber around. You're just relying on pure mechanics. And that's the less parts to go wrong, the better. So whenever you pick this up, you always know it's going to fire. Now, concealability, it's a far cry from concealability. I mean, this is 6 inches here, and it weighs about 3 pounds, so this you're not exactly going to conceal with, especially dealing with the cylinder bulk and the grip itself. But if you were in Alaska and you were hunting maybe wolves, I guess, it'd be good against. I would question it for bears. I know it can take boars. I'm not too sure about 357 exactly, but I know, you know, don't go and try to shoot a polar bear. You might piss it off, but you might want a 454 for that. But just for a small game environment, this is a pretty good little gun. I love it. I paid almost $700 for this. It was $670 or somewhere around there. Washington has, okay, it's a liberal state, I'll just put it that way. Washington is a liberal state, so they want to make it as hard as possible for you to obtain firearms, even if it means taxing the hell out of you. So that's generally what happened there. But I usually go to get my firearms at MD Firearms in Tacoma. Those guys are amazing. So yeah, that's where I got this one. They're, you know, cool guys. They'll hook you up in there. So, alright, that's that. Make sure I'm going over everything. Oh yeah, recoil. Let me go over that. So recoil is a lot different. So when you're dealing with revolvers, there is no slide coming back. There is, again, as I said, there's no gas operated anything in revolvers. So your recoil, is, at least for me, tended to be straight back. That's exactly how it would recoil, straight back, just back each time. To be exact, if you didn't have your hand your hand swell here between your thumb and your index finger on the bore, it would push back, and then it would kind of be a little uncomfortable. In fact, I had a strange sensation of pain on my knuckles on the bottom because of just a pure blast wave, because there's a wave that comes out of energy, and it rippled my knuckles, so my knuckles were sore, and that's actually fascinating to me. Hey guys, this is Tim Ray. Sorry, video cut out, but anyway, I was talking about the blast wave. So it's actually interesting how that happens. It just kind of comes back, and all the, you know, the blast wave and whatnot. So that's always fascinating to me. I love revolvers, like I said. So I don't have any ammo for right now. I did get a cool little speed loader from Dirt Road. He's one of my best subscribers, so check his channel out. He's got some really good videos on there. Real good guy. So yeah, check his videos out. So yeah, that's see, I went over that, and takedown's pretty easy. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've not tried to take this down. I've just seen YouTube videos, and from what I've seen, there's no side rail or side faceplate that comes off. Like most revolvers, this faceplate comes off, and you have a bunch of springs and shit inside there that are like extremely intimidating to try to take apart. As far as I know, there's just this little flathead screw here that the grip then comes off, comes down and off, and then you have like a little spring thing in here, and you can take it apart there in the trigger assembly. But the faceplate stays, which that's the thing I forgot to get into. This frame is based off of a 44 Magnum. That's what makes it so freaking strong. You have your dual lockups. I think the locking mechanism is actually on the crane itself, so it locks up here and it locks up here, which makes it extremely strong. So you can fire full power 357 Magnum loads. The way Ruger advertised it is unlimited amount. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I've never tried then again, so it may have a little bit more tolerance towards overpressure rounds, which are always a bad idea. But then again, with revolvers, you don't have any gas operated parts, so that may not be too much of an issue. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's based off 44 Magnum. So that, with that being said, even though the recoil is a bit of a pushback, it's not as bad as shooting like a 2-inch, let's say Taurus Tracer, because I fired a Taurus Tracer before. Did not like it. The recoil was insane. Like, the fireball was pretty sick that came out, but the recoil itself was just kind of like a back end. It was like a snappy. Basically, the 40 of revolvers is what I would call 2-inch barrels on these little guys. Yeah, so that's all for now, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I think I went over everything. If you have any questions, as I said again, just post them in the comment section. Please subscribe if you like my videos. I love doing this. I do this for fun. I'm still learning. I don't have the best equipment. I do plan in the future to do some ballistics gel tests. Again, I live in a liberal state, so that's a little bit difficult. But anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for watching my video, and you guys have a nice day. Bye.